All right, so we've got 35 of the maybe not best, most popular, we'll say, concealed carry guns on the market. And we're going to make a quick tier list of those just to sort of get all of my preconceptions out of the way when it comes to concealed carry guns. So you guys know where I'm coming from. Also, this works a little bit as an update to that P320 video I did 2 years ago. And then we're also going to do a little bit of an update during this video. So while I am yapping, I'm also going to update why the channel has been not uploaded to in so long. So to start off with, we have got the Gen 1 P320. Gen 1 P320, you guys all know how tier lists work. I'm not going to explain that shit to you. The only tiers that we have that are special are we have acoustic tier, which if you're like me, you're acoustic. And we also have the not going to make it tier. If you carry a non-modified Gen 1 P320, you are not going to make it. Unfortunately, you will probably blow your cock off, and that is not on me, that is on you. Our next one is the P320 X-Series. We're going to put this in B tier. I know I was super positive about it in my video 2 years ago, and I really do still like the X-Series P320s. However, I'm leaning a little bit away from them, and there's a couple of reasons why. One, I've started to carry Glocks. I know it's basic as fuck, but I've started to carry Glocks. And two, all of the safety issues that have come out since I made that video. I still think that for the most part, it's going to be people that don't have the proper holster and are fucking putting their t-shirts in the trigger well. Like there was that one video of the cop who had like a tourniquet on the outside of his holster. It was like a Safariland holster. And his like finger was obviously in the fucking trigger guard when he tried to put it into his holster. And everyone's like, oh my God, fucking P320s go off all by themselves. I have seen a little bit, but I still think if you get the updated versions, you're still going to be in a better situation. These are top of B tier, maybe bottom of A tier. We'll see how the tier list goes on, how I feel. Next up, we have the Smith & Wesson Shield, D tier. It's a great first buy if it's your first gun. It's pretty small, but it's a single stack 9mm that only carries 9 bullets. In 2025, that's not really something that you can justify. I think that's pretty rough these days. Next up, we got the Springfield XD. Yeah, it's going to be a C tier for me. Most of the Glock clones are going to be C tier. They're all pretty average, and for the most part, they don't really add anything that Glocks don't already do. Speaking of which, next up we have the Glock 43, just the regular 43 with the 9-round magazine. Once you get the Shield Arms magazines into it, you get a 12-round magazine, which is pretty good. But I just don't think that I can put it any higher than C tier in good conscience just because of the limited magazine capacity. Like I said, single stack 9mm is not the way in 2025. With all the Wonder 9s that have double stack magazines, using a single stack mag is you're really limiting yourself for no good reason. And for that same reason, I'm going to put the Glock 43X just above it in B tier as well. Slightly better there because you have, the 10-round capacity rather than the 6-round capacity on the 43. On the 43X, you have the 10-round capacity, but I don't think I can in good conscience rate it any higher without Shield Arms magazines or the PSA double stack magazines. Glock 18 is going to be S tier, strong S tier. I think stock a Glock 18 is going to be probably the best carry gun without any adjustments. The Glock 18 is going to be the best carry gun. Glock 19, sorry. Next up, we have the Roland Special. That's going to be acoustic tier. If you're going to put in the time to tinker with all of the different things that need to go into a Roland Special to make it function properly, you, like me, are hella acoustic, and that is something that only acoustic people do, is, you know, tamper with spring weights, put on for an extra 1 to 2% of performance. You're hella acoustic. Similarly, the Micro Roland Special, this is what I carry every day now. You're hella acoustic. Yeah, I'm hella acoustic just like you. So it's okay. P365, just the stock one, is going to go in C tier. I think these two are pretty much interchangeable. And actually, this one needs to go bottom of C tier. Those two are pretty much interchangeable. This one's a little bit higher because it's got the extra magazine capacity. But I basically see these two as interchangeable. Just the stock P365 and a Glock 43 are basically interchangeable in my mind. Little update as we talk here. So why haven't I been uploading for like 6 months, 7 months? The big reason is I just can't afford to do any in-depth reviews for guns anymore. It's too expensive to go out and shoot the round counts that I'd like to shoot through them, to be able to justify. Before making my 43X video, I had the gun for almost a year and a half. I got it maybe 6 months after my P320 came out, less than 6 months after the P320 video came out. So I probably had it for just over a year and a half. And that was shooting pretty much every weekend with it, at least 100 rounds every week. And I just can't afford to put that much ammo through guns, and I can't afford to keep buying new guns. I've got one video that I'm working on, but it's going to be a bit more lighthearted in nature. Think more like a PSR type video, print, shoot, repeat. More like that than a brass facts or Grand Thumb review style video. It's going to be more of a, hey, here's the cool things about this gun. I'm working on that in the background, but there's a couple of things that I'd like to buy before I do the actual filming for that video. And it's going to get a little expensive for that. So that's why I haven't had any big videos coming out. I'm looking like I might start streaming a little bit more and doing more videos similar to this. But we'll just have to see. I've been playing a lot of Counter-Strike recently, so I might start streaming some Counter-Strike. P320 XL, basically in line with the Glock 43X, a little bit above it. And actually, I think both of these are above the base P320. As a concealed carry gun. A little bit above the Glock 43X, again, because of that added capacity. I think this will actually go into A tier, and this one will be top of B tier. No, these are both A tier. Yeah, it just, the extra capacity where they're basically the same form factor. I think the 365 XL is a little bit slimmer than the Glock 43X as well, stock. And you get that extra, I think it's 3 rounds in the base magazine, the flush fit magazine. So I think that's something that you can't really argue against. What else did I put on here while I was yapping? I think that's it. The Springfield Echelon. No, not yet. I think that's down here. FNX 45. Did a video about this one. I don't think that anybody could concealed carry that unless you're like Brass Facts, who is 6 foot, like 4 inches tall. Everybody else is going to be printing when they conceal carry this because it's just so fucking massive. MMP 2.0 is going to be another B tier. I think the limiting factor for this one is its size. It's not really a compact. It's pretty much a full size gun. So it's going to be a lot harder to conceal to carry that. EX4 Storm. Kind kind of a vibey gun, especially with what is it, the PX4 like carbine. I don't remember what it's called. But they both take the same magazines, and that's kind of vibey. But I think I have to put it into D tier, just because it's such an old design that it's kind of been left in the dust. I think this is the Ruger LCR, and not going to make it. If you carry a revolver in 2025, this goes for every revolver. If you carry a revolver in 2025, you are not going to make it, unfortunately. Walther PDQ. It's going to be a C tier for me. Walther used to be really good, but unfortunately their quality control, and really all of their tactical pistols since like the 90s, early 2000s have just been kind of dog shit. I think it definitely goes above the Springfield Hellcat, but I don't think it gets close to these two. Glock 19. One of these is a Glock 17, the other one's a Glock 19. They're both S tier. It just depends on your size. Like if you're a bigger fella, I think this is the Glock 19 or Glock 17. If you're a Glock 17 enjoyer, it's going to be B tier unless you're another 6'2" guy, because you can't really carry, again, this is because you're acoustic, but you can't really carry a Glock 17 size pistol without printing hella hard. The Ruger LCP is going to be not going to make it tier. I think it's got 6 rounds of 380. I mean, I know the gun you carry is better than the gun you don't, but if you've got 6 rounds of 380, you might as well just leave it at home, because that's not stopping anybody. What is this? I think this is another Walther. And I'm just going to put this right next to the other Walther. Did it delete the other Walther? I don't know. All the Walthers going right next to each other. Canik is going to be, look, I've got one of my buddies, he swears by Canik, and I give him shit for it all the time. It's going to be in D tier. I should make a new tier for it called Turkish shit tier. Don't buy Turkish made guns. We'll put it just above the FNX. PSA Dagger. I think the PSA Dagger and Micro Dagger go square. This one's going to be B tier. But I think the Micro Dagger is like, the Dagger and the Micro Dagger are pretty much like the baseline for Glock clone pistols. That is the line to be, is the PSA Dagger and Micro Dagger. I think they're fine. They're great for the price. They're super affordable. But they don't bring anything special to the table. They're just basically throwaway guns. Honestly, I've thought as part of my prepping plans to buy like 5 daggers, PSA daggers, and just be like, if I need to give somebody a gun, here's a PSA dagger and 2 magazines. I spent $100 on it, you know? The Hudson H9, kind of a vibe. But I think it's going to have to be D tier, just because of all the reliability issues that have come out about it. Even following who was it? Why the fuck can't I remember their name? Who the fuck was it? Nope. A little bit of Counter-Strike getting in there. Who the fuck? Daniel. How the hell did I not remember Daniel Defense? Even after Daniel Defense acquired the H9, I heard they still had some pretty big issues with their new production. Something like this, the rails are like the slide rails. Something's wrong with them, and it's like a design flaw that it goes past the updates that Daniel Defense made, which was pretty minimal from what I heard. But yeah, you're not going to make it. High Point C9, not going to make it. If you got a Ghetto Blaster, you are not going to make it. Consequently, where's the YC9? I know I had one in here. Here we go. The YC9, it wraps back around to acoustic tier, because if you're going to carry a YC9, you are hella acoustic, and it's honestly kind of a vibe. Browning High Power. Browning High Power is a vibe. This one gets A tier solely based on being sexy alone. That is not a Browning high power. That is a P10 or P01. That is the P01. So that's going to be B tier because it's a little bit bigger. Where's the high power? There's the high power, A tier. And then the P10C is, man, I couldn't get any higher resolution images on these. That's the P10C. Nope, that's HK VP9. VP9 C tier, I think. I don't think it beats the Glock because it's super uncomfortable to hold. The triggers on them are okay, but they are so uncomfortable to hold. Where's the P10C? Is that the P10C? I think that's the P10C. If that's the P10C, it goes in A tier. Ruger, not going to make, oh no, that's a Taurus G2C. Not going to make it. Regardless, you're not going to make it. It's the same thing. Turkish guns, you're not going to make it. I know Taurus is Brazilian. I don't even, oh, is that SCCY? I think that's SCCY. That's another not going to make it gun. The Beretta Cheetah is 380, but it's kind of a vibe. So because it's a vibe alone, it's going to get C tier. Beretta M9 is too big to be a functional, like, concealed carry gun. And I think it's going to go like this. The Cheetah goes up a tier. The Beretta M9 is just above the Dagger, just because it's too big and heavy. Walther PPK, S tier. I know what I said. It's 32 ACP. I don't give a fuck. It is vibey enough that it goes all the way up to S tier. FN509, it's definitely better than the FN45. I think it's bottom of B tier, top of C tier. Any 1911 in 2025, you're not going to make it. If it's even worse than the single stack 9mm, because with single stack 45, you're getting like basically no ballistic advantage over modern 9mm, and you're having to sacrifice so much weight. Carrying a 45, like a single stack 45, you're wasting like 4 pounds of carry weight on a fucking 8 rounds of 45 at best. You're not going to make it. You're too boomer to survive. I think this is the Springfield XD. I think that's just below the Dagger. The Terran Tactical Combat Master. Much like whatever the fuck his name is, I get the vibe. You're not John Wick. You are a fucking 50-year-old fat dude who is literally compensating for doing nothing in his life by carrying a combat master. You think you're John Wick, but you're actually just you're Paul Blart Mall Cop if you carry this. You're not going to make it, unfortunately. Maybe fortunately. The type of dudes to carry a combat master are the type of dudes to fucking slap waitresses on the ass. Staccato C2, actually kind of a vibe. We'll put that up in A tier. I don't know why this is on here again. Still not going to make it. Might have uploaded some of these pictures twice. I think that is everything. So yeah, that is the definitive tier list of concealed carry guns. Yeah, final thoughts. No, that's definitely not everything, because I had a Shadow Systems in there somewhere. I don't know where the Shadow Systems went off to. If you carry a Shadow Systems, you're kind of based because the company's based. Are they much better than a stock Glock? I don't think so. We'll put them bottom of A tier, right in the middle of A tier, actually. Yeah, I think that's everything. I think these are all repeats down here, so I'm keeping this video pretty short. Like I said, more of a life update, channel update than anything else. I just wanted to make a video, if I'm completely honest. So, yeah. If you guys feel like I've offended you in some way, it's probably because you carry one of these guns and they're not going to make it here. And unfortunately, you're going to get killed in the streets. So that's just the way it is. Like and subscribe.